Welcome back. We've been reading different books on better processes, better habits, looking at our goals. We're going to look at a few of those books today to show you how those things align, pulling them all together, what we think the best of all of those things together is, and how you can best drive outcomes in the year ahead. So Simon Sinek, I believe, was in marketing. The reason that people make big purchases or investments is about the why.
People don't buy what you do, people buy why you do it.
The Platinum Circle. We're not going to cover every dimension of it in this video, but I want to introduce how it informs the way we think about goal setting and targeting habits that we need to cultivate. At the personal level, rather than at the interpersonal influencing level, the book that does the best job of covering how to identify your personal why to get a clear sense of your identity and your intentions for your life come out of Stephen Covey's 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. His center ring is your personal mission in life. Based on that mission, he then helps you break that down into the roles that you fulfill in your life, in your family, in your community, in your business, and the goals in each of those arenas of your life. James Clear's model from his book, Atomic Habits, says that the path to behavioral change, changing your own patterns, I can take control of my habits and influence myself, just as Simon Sinek is trying to influence other people. What corresponds to the why in Simon Sinek's model is, for James Clear, is having a strong sense of your identity. How do you perceive yourself in the world? That is your personal why. That's what drives your behavior. So understanding that about yourself is one key. The next key is your outcomes, and goals are your whats.
So the what or the outcome could be I want to be healthier.
More or less specific. I want to lose a certain number of pounds. I want to run a 5K. Those are specific outcomes. The how, what is the bridge from your why, your sense of identity, to making those outcomes a reality, is cultivating the right processes in your life or habits. The emphasis in his book is on the habits level, whereas the emphasis for Sinek is at the why. Another book that we've talked about, Your Best Year Ever by Michael Hyatt. Rather than the why or the how level, his emphasis is on the what level, and specifically the science and art of smarter goals. Of all of the books that we've talked about, I would double down on saying that The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Covey is the best resource for someone who's trying to get in touch with their identity, their why, their mission, whichever term you want to use. Getting clarity in that center ring is best done with the assistance of The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People.
Right.
Getting clarity on the goals, the goal setting, is best done with Hyatt's Your Best Year Ever. And getting clarity on the processes that are going to help you make those goals a reality, that is best achieved with the Atomic Habits from James Clear. So what we're trying to do in this video series is draw out from each of those sources the most salient and insightful points. So I think that what is really useful about this whole model is it helps you self-diagnose. Where am I strong and where am I weak? Based on my past successes or struggles, which of these areas do I need to invest in shoring up so that at all 3 levels I'm aligning myself. I'm
right.
I am sufficiently strong in each area that I can effectively move the ball forward week over week, month over month, year over year, so that I'm getting long-term, there's going to be bumps in the road, there's going to be setbacks, but you want to make sure that you're not systematically falling short in any one of these areas. If any one of these is holding you back on a regular or consistent basis, then this helps you identify, okay, I now see how that is the pattern I have, and now I can see which resource will help me better address that.
We've done most of the work for you, and we would recommend sections of each one of these books for the different pieces of what you're doing. Each book does a really great job in one area, but then maybe kind of lacks a little bit in the other.
So I'd say there's 3 scenarios that are likely. There's more hypothetically more scenarios than this, but there's basically like 3 things I think are common. You tell me if you can think of another one. I think the first thing that can happen is life change. You start changing jobs, you finish school, you've gotten married, you've had your first child, or it's the new year and you're taking stock of things. And your struggle is you're just not feeling inspired about your life. Like you just don't feel like the spark. Like maybe you used to have it and now you're not sure where it is. Or you thought like, well, once I get to this thing, I'm going to like feel, you know, I'm going to feel fulfilled. I'm going to feel inspired. I'm going to feel motivated. But you're not feeling that. If you're feeling uninspired, that is a sign that you need to get in touch with your vision, your identity, your personal mission, your why. I think that you like are very like passionate about this and like very in touch with like having a vision that motivates and inspires you.
If you want to make a change in your life, what is your deep down thing you want to be?
Right.
Like maybe you're like, I want to be like I am a healthy and active mom. Maybe it's, and like the why is because I want to be around for my children and I want to model good behavior so that they are healthy and like, and cascade on. The way that you're going to get there the most is if you've tied it to the vision that you have of yourself.
Right.
In like trying to fulfill that, because it's very easy to kind of let things fall off if it's just like, I'm reading books because I'm reading books because I think it's fun. But if it's like, I am a person who prioritizes my like well-being or my mental health, and one of those things is books, that is what you need to help cultivate the commitment that you're going to need to reaching your goals.
Your why is where you get the emotional commitment and buy-in to everything else in your life.
Right.
And if you're out of touch with your why, if you don't have a strong sense of who am I? What is my mission? Why am I doing the things I'm doing? Then goal setting or cultivating different habits, even if you have some level of success, you're not going to feel satisfied or fulfilled by that.
Right.
Because you're just blindly doing things without a overarching organizing reason.
Right. And I think that's actually even more important as you're setting goals. If you're setting goals as a team, as a partnership, whether it's with your team at work or like, but I'm thinking right now from like a spousal relationship of like understanding why, like the essence of what it is you're trying to do. So for instance, like we have decided that we want to be a family where we have friends over all the time, that we have a welcoming home environment where people feel comfortable to just swing by and be a part of our day-to-day with our family. We want a space where our children want to come home and want to bring their friends home when they get older. And so like that is a value that family, togetherness, community is a value, and saving money for a house is in end service to that vision. That was a way that we were more on board with. Oh, okay, that aligns with our vision and we're more excited about it.
That's why it's so important to have vision and, as you say, to have a like within your marriage, within your family, the better you have a sense of shared identity and shared purpose, that a lot of other things start to fall in place.
I'm really good at this part. I've got a lot of vision, a lot of excitement, a lot of passion.
You do. Let's talk about some other scenarios.
When we get to
Let's talk,
the next
we'll get there. We're gonna get there.
I might not be as good.
Okay, so now let's say you're really inspired. You have a clear vision.
Yeah.
The next thing I think many people fall into is they're just not sure in practical terms how to make that vision a reality.
Right.
They're like, they're totally like emotionally and intellectually bought in. I know what I want, who I want to be, what I want to do. I can see it. I want to get there. I don't know where to begin. I don't know like what to do first. I don't know what is realistic. Like So if that's your situation, then your problem is that you need clarity around your goals. You need to be able to translate your identity into outcomes, your mission into goals, your intentions. You need to apply some forethought and develop your, we'll talk about this in we have another video where we talk in detail about how to set effective goals that are smart or smarter, and the pros and cons of the different like criteria or recipes for an effective goal.
And smart and smarter are acronyms for the qualities of a good goal.
So Hyatt is definitely the resource that I would point someone to who said, oh, I have clarity on my why, my vision, my identity.
I know who I am. Even if you have vision and you think you have good goals, but every time you set your goals, you either find you're not meeting them or you don't understand like kind of how to get there or when you know if you've accomplished it. Like that is all part of, it's not just like setting your goals, but it's setting goals in a way that you can kind of check off like, okay, I met that benchmark, and also setting goals in a way in which they are like sequenced and time bound so that you are constantly like making progress.
So then the last scenario is, despite being bought in and despite knowing what it should look like for them to become a reality, you're struggling to either get started or you're struggling to build momentum or you're struggling to maintain that momentum when confronted with setbacks, discouraging results, or when things don't go according to plan, it knocks you off course and you either struggle or never do get back on the wagon. And you find yourself in that cliche cycle of every December setting a New Year's resolution that you stick to for 4 to 6 weeks, and then you do it again next year.
Right.
So even though it's not because you aren't sincere, and you may have clarity on well, here's what it would look like for me to achieve this, but you're having a hard time getting there. If that is your situation, then you need to focus on your process, your habits, and be more conscious and apply better techniques and tactics to cultivating the kinds of habits that are going to make those outcomes that you've identified a reality.
And I think that it's important for you to kind of look at, so if you are one of those people who every year you set a New Year's resolution and you don't follow through on it, right? You need to look at all of these areas to figure out where it is. And there may be multiple places where you are which is resulting in you're failing to meet your goals. It might be, actually the goals I'm setting are not super inspiring. I'm just setting it because society tells me I should be skinnier, but I don't really want to stop eating ice cream. So is it that your vision isn't really, your goals aren't really aligned with your true vision and who you really want to be? Is it that your goals are not structured in a way that they are you even know how to achieve them? Or is it that you're just not building the longevity of the habit? So assessing where you are and where you may be falling short.
So hopefully this gives you greater clarity on your own patterns and which of our videos are going to be most helpful to you.
And if you have a goal that you're trying to set or something you've been struggling with, put it in the comments below and Marcus and I and those that are on can try and help you figure it out.
So look in the description below for links to each of those videos, and we'll see you over there.